Everyone from the international press. My name is Cynthia Wu, and I am the TPP's vice presidential candidate in this campaign. Thank you all so much for coming today, and I apologize for my hoarse voice. I've been standing in the back of a truck and shouting for a week now and grinning like a Cheshire cat. So anyway, this is obviously a very important year for elections, not only for Taiwan, but around the world. Nearly 60 countries and nearly 4 billion people will be affected. And of course, Taiwan being the beacon of democracy in Asia, this election is also very critical for the prosperity and stability for our entire region and that of the world. What I'd like to share is that I'm very delighted to be supporting Dr. Ke in his campaign, and that I'm a firm believer of maintaining the status quo and also expanding Taiwan's international connectivity through Track 2 dialogue, defined as membership where a prerequisite is not one of sovereignty. So, and from my own personal background, as a third generation family business shareholder, I've had many examples from my late grandfathers and also my uncles, where they've all been able to focus on expanding business and economic connectivity with the world. So I think going forward for Taiwan in the 21st century, where Taiwan could collaborate with other democracies is around 3 areas: climate change, digital transformation / cybersecurity, and also that of health and an aging society. And I think also in Taiwan, coming from the financial service sector, I really believe that it's time to make a lot of financial reforms that will align our financial industry standards to that of the global community, linking us with global capital markets. So during my time in the Legislative Yuan, I've been legislator for 13 months. I've actually put forward 16 bills from my office through the TPP office initiatives, and out of the 16 initiatives, 5 of them have actually been around digital transformation, because I believe it's absolutely critical for Taiwan to be able to harness on our digital management and legislation in order to ride this new 21st century wave. In addition, I've also put forward a 10-year financial blueprint plan for Taiwan, and I'll explain both of those in a bit more detail. So for example, under the digital legislation, I've put forward a personal data protection law and an information security management law. And this is because we've had a lot of issues with internet security and fraud, and there's been a lack of trust in government, in the ability to protect our data. And in addition, our electronic signature law is over 30 years out of date. When I go to Legislative Yuan, there's a calligraphy pen on offer when I register, and we actually have to physically get there to register for signing in to speak. And so I do believe that the right to allow e-signature should be equal to that of those who want to be signing in work in person. So although Taiwan is known to be an IT hardware nation, the reality is in a daily life in Taiwan, many things have an opportunity to be digitally transformed for making life a lot easier for our citizens. And in addition, also, one of the other initiatives I've put forward is around privacy law that will align Taiwan to become the 3rd country after Japan and Korea to be GDPR compliant, which is the EU General Data Protection Regulation, which I'm sure many of you here are very familiar with. Another area to share, of course, an example is also around the AI Act. So I've also put forward an AI Act in November last year. And this isn't due to the fact that as a young global leader with the World Economic Forum, I was very fortunate to be invited by a fellow European member of parliament in early July last year, who was one of the authors of the AI Act. And again, this is an area where I really believe that Taiwan's international connectivity and acceleration for change could be really driven from a top-down method when Dr. Ko and I get elected, and also when the TPP has more seats in Parliament after tomorrow. The other aspect, apart from this cyber and digital transformation that I'm looking forward to helping Taiwan, is around health. Just to give you an example, Taiwan has arguably either the first or the second lowest birth rate in the world, and our healthcare system is extremely strained. Many of our hospitals' beds are closing. A lot of the nurses who are qualified, more than half of them no longer working the nursing field, and those who are working the nursing field are feeling extremely strained. So again, I believe that digital health, technologies could help align the supply and demand in that regard. And of course, as many people know, too, digital health as a business is over $6 trillion as a market and growing. So not only can digital health benefit our population to make affordable and precise health care for every citizen, it could also help drive a new industry that will transfer Taiwan from becoming less reliant on just semiconductors as our economy. Because I don't know if many of you know, only 3% of our jobs are actually in the semiconductor sector, and that's the only area where the salary has actually increased in the last 20 plus years. And the majority of our people, 60% of our workers, are actually in the service sector, which is why we're all hearing about this low wage and high housing price problems. So from the digital health aspect, I've taken pages from Germany, Japan, and Singapore around medical regulatory sandboxes, around medical data management. And the intention is, like I said, as an aging society, we have currently 7 million patients who need to get repeat prescription in person, for example, every 3 months. So all those things around digital health could be beneficial for our country in Taiwan in many ways. And then finally, on the 10-year financial blueprint, I'm proposing 2 funds to be set up for Taiwan. One is a sovereign wealth fund through the central bank's assets. And I'm happy to share that information in English to you all later. But essentially, over 10 years, we're looking at $90 billion to be spent in the economy. And then the second fund will come from 5 funding sources through carbon tax, making our state-owned enterprises more efficient, Taiwan Sugar, our state-owned banks. And then also when Taiwan joins the global minimum tax, there will be revenues coming through that, and that the earnings of that second fund would be around $225 billion over a 10-year plan to spend in the economy. And so essentially doubling our treasury's assets. So, and in short, I think this has been a great opportunity to be able to support Dr. Ke. My interest has always been around financial, environmental, and health sustainability and resilience for Taiwan. And for me, it's just another way to be involved in the social issues that I'm interested in through the private sector, as a legislator, and hopefully as Vice President of Taiwan. Thank you all so much. Thank you.